Considering I've slept through a nuclear war, Concord is looking better than I would have expected. If there's anybody alive who might... Oh my God. What are these things? Well, a bit scarier than the mosquitoes I remember, but went down pretty easy. So my hope is that I might find somebody in these still standing buildings who can give me some assistance. Maybe point me in the direction that Sean might have been taken. Nora and I used to come to Concord to do our shopping. The Fallon's department store is looking a little worse for wear. Benelli's Bakery. They had good bear claws there. Walden Drugs. Very familiar with these streets, these little local businesses. Everybody up in Sanctuary Hills came down here. Some people would take a bit of a longer trip, go to Lexington, if they needed something special. Celebrate history at the Museum of Freedom. Something's going on over here. What's this? We've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Seems like I've walked into a fight. Well, not how I hoped to start my investigation, but I can't stand by if innocent people are under attack, so let's see what we can do. There's a lot of blasts coming from above. Door's locked. I'll have to go through this old exhibit. This old tacky exhibit. Paul Revere's Midnight Ride and all that. Have your tea back, you jackanapes. No taxation without representation. Whenever my in-laws visited, we always had to come to the museum. Walk through the crappy exhibit. Alright, if you're gonna shoot me first. Good to see cryo sleep didn't weaken my swinging arm. Even back when I fought in Anchorage, I never really cared for the guns. Just put me in a suit of power armor and let me get up close and personal. Yeah, the Anchorage exhibit they were building here never went anywhere. A few more raiders. Well, I guess it's to be expected after nuclear war, but part of me was hoping that humanity might have shown a bit stronger character. Man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston, Garvey, Commonwealth, Minutemen. Minutemen. So now I'm traveling backward in time. I My son, Sean's been kidnapped. He's not even a year old. That's messed up, I'm sorry. I know how this world can be. A month ago there were 20 of us. Yesterday there were 8. Now we're 5. First it was the ghouls in Lexington. Now this mess. Ghouls? What are ghouls? Wow, you really aren't from around here, are you? Ghouls are irradiated people. Most are just like you and me. They look pretty messed up and live a long time, but they're still just people. The ones I'm talking about are different. The radiations rotted their brains, made them feral. They'll rip you apart just as soon as they look at you. Anyway, we figured Concord would be a safe place to settle. Those raiders proved us wrong, but, well, we do have one idea. Let's hear it. Sturgis, tell him. There's a crashed vertibird up on the roof. Old school, pre-war. You might have seen it. Well, it looks like one of its passengers left behind a seriously sweet goodie. We're talking a full suit of Cherry T-45 power armor, military issue. That's some serious protection. Oh, it gets better. Get the suit. You can rip the minigun right off the vertibird. Do that and those raiders get an express ticket to hell. You dig? Huh. Could work. It'll work, provided we can reactivate the suit. It's totally out of juice. Probably has been for 100 years. It can be powered up again, but we're a bit stuck. So what's the solution? What you'll need is an old pre-war FC, a standardized fusion core, your high-grade long-term nuclear battery, used by the military and some companies way back when, and we know right where to find one. But we can't get to the damn thing. It's down in the basement, locked behind a security gate. Look, I fix stuff, I tinker. Bypassing security ain't exactly my forte. You could give it a shot. I can't. You'll have to find somebody else. Man, there is nobody else, just us, and we're at a dead end. If you won't even try to help, you're condemning these poor people to die. Man, I was just saying that I'm not a hacker. Kinda yelled at me for that. Robco fun. At least these old junky comics are still around. Robco fun issue blank. $40. $40 for this little comic book. Atomic Command, free holotape with this issue. Be the first on your block. Alright, well, we've got a pretty ready crew of people here. I suppose I can go give it a shot. I'm only used to getting through some of the Robco security protocols at work. I was never a particular expert at it, but we can see. But if this world is one where I'm going to be getting shot at a lot, I might want to scavenge some of this armor off of these raiders. Might need a bit more protection than these leather duds I found on the road. So we'll make our way down to the basement and see what we can do about that fusion core. Also collect these bullets. Even if I'm not going to put them to use, I'm sure they fetch a good price around here. We'll also take his suit of leather. chess piece. So here we have the mural they were working on here. Showing the arc of American soldiers, I guess, from Revolutionary times to the modern day. Well, not so modern anymore, I guess. Power armor in space. That's an idea. America's freedom fighters. This mural commemorates the many sacrifices of the brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces. From Lexington and Concord to the shores of Iwo Jima, from the Sea of Tranquility to the Anchorage front line, Americans have fought and died through the ages to secure our nation's freedom. May their sacrifices remind us all that freedom is a privilege afforded to the many, yet hard won by a noble few. Well, having served myself, I can tell you that not everybody out on those front lines is quite so noble. The museum is not doing so well, although I suppose the fact that it's standing at all after a nuclear war is impressive enough. Some stim packs on this one, those will be useful. Take another chess piece. The chems that I find on these people, I have to admit I'm a little worried about actually using them. Gotta wonder if any stim pack that I stick in my arm is gonna have some crusted old raider blood on the needle. Alright. Let's see, the gate's locked. Some bobby pins. I could take a crack at that. I have picked a lock or two in my day, but these Robco termalinks, they're pretty easy to get through. If you run into something more high security, they can be tricky, but something like this, you just have to break through, find the right password. You can find some bits in the code that can make it a bit easier. Remove some false options, but you can also give it time to reset. I might be hitting a wall here, but something at this security level, it shouldn't be a permanent lockout, you know. It's the basement of a local museum. It's probably not going to permanently lock me out. Yeah, I guess I'm a bit rusty on this. But we'll try again in a few seconds. Let's see here. Attempt number 2. Okay, let's try waste. Can knock out a dud. Knock out another one. Let's see, class. No. Well, there we go. It's been a while since I put those skills to use. visits, I guess. But with the fusion core, we can get back up to the vertibird and the power armor. You know, I'm pretty surprised this crappy old museum is still functioning. Even the old tour audio logs are still playing. Nora and I would come here whenever her parents visited. They loved this kind of stuff. I've heard this too many times. The side effect of living in Massachusetts, I guess. You know, the Lexington and Concord story, the Earl of Dartmouth, he orders the Thomas Gage, General Thomas Gage, to confiscate the arms and artillery provisions of the colonists, who of course at that time were stockpiling supplies for a potential war with the crown. So Gage sends Francis Smith out to go carry out those orders. And once the British are mobilized, this is where we get that famous midnight ride of Paul Revere, right? One if by land, two if by sea. The Longfellow poem, one if by land, two if by sea. Of course it was two lanterns because the British were coming via the Charles River. A lot of the props and things here have been looted over the years, it seems. But let's take this fusion core up to the roof. Oh, we can actually see the vertibird poking through the rafters here. I flew on those things up in Alaska many times. Never enjoyed it. There we go. I'm limbering up a little bit after my time in cryo sleep. Although, frankly, I'm feeling pretty exhausted. But hopefully after I help these colonists out, I can, colonists, I call them. I must be exhausted after all. Walking through the Museum of Freedom and suddenly, well, you know, it's that Preston guy's fault. Calls himself a Minuteman. The Minutemen, of course, an organized militia group from back in colonial America days. The colonists who were concerned about going to war with Britain organized the Minutemen, named for their ability to, you know, be ready to fight in a minute. Yeah, the Lexington and Concord story, you've got Francis Smith leading his men through Lexington. I think they maybe had a few shots at some of the colonists around there. There was some early engagement, but not really a battle, and then I think around Concord they had their first real exchange of bullets, and of course nobody really knows. Oh my god. What the hell is that thing? It's a bad time to not sure that my tire iron would have done the job there. Oh no. My little dog. Let's get you up and running again. There you go. Oh my god. Oh, poor puppy, where are you? You just suffered an atomic blast from that truck exploding. That's a hardy dog, though. A couple of stim packs and he's running around happy as can be. Alright, well, looks like the threat is neutralized here. We can go back and talk to that crazy Minuteman. Alright, that was a pretty amazing display. I'm just glad you're on our side. You guys gonna be okay now? Yeah, for a while anyway. We can at least move someplace safer. Listen, when we first met, you asked about the Minutemen. One thing you should know about us, we help out our friends. So here, for everything you've done, thank you. You're welcome. Anytime. Well, since you say that, maybe I'll come to Sanctuary with us. We could use your help getting settled there. Got my own problems. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said anytime because, this Preston Garvey guy is a bit pushy. Give him an inch and he'll take a mile. I don't really have time to help escort them. You're a man out of time, out of hope, but all's not lost. I can feel your son's energy. He's alive. What? Where is my son? Where is Sean? Oh, I wish I knew, kid, I really do. But it's not like I can see your son. I can just feel his life force, his energy. He's out there. And even I don't need the sight to tell you where you should start looking. The great green jewel of the Commonwealth, Diamond City, the biggest settlement around. Please, Mama Murphy, I'm working from nothing. I need more. Look, kid, I'm tired now. Maybe bring me some chems later. The sight will paint a clearer picture. No, Mama Murphy, we talked about this. That junk is gonna kill you. Oh, shush, Preston. We're all gonna die eventually. We're gonna need the sight. And our new friend here, he's gonna need it too. Now let's get going. Sanctuary awaits. Alright, folks, thanks to our friend here, it's safe to move out. We're heading for that place Mama Murphy knows about. Sanctuary, it's not farmed. It's not far. She knows about it. You mean she had one of her visions? Now you want us to just head out on another wild goose chase based on nothing? We're all in this together, right? So, Marcy, you got a better idea of what we should do next? Anybody? Well then, Sanctuary it is. Let's just hope it lives up to its name. Well, sounds to me like they're going to be heading up to my old town. Maybe they'll make better use of it than I will. But I don't have time to help these people get settled down. I need to start heading to Diamond City. Which I figure sounds like Boston, at least. And that's the only real city around, so I'll start heading down there. I'm not sure if taking the main roads would be safer. or more dangerous. Based on the state of Concord and the fact that Garvey told me Lexington is filled with those monstrous ghouls, my guess is I might be better off trying to skirt around at the main roads, avoid settlements, communities, places where dangerous people might gather. What a creature. The nuclear apocalypse has certainly done a number on the local wildlife. Giant mosquitoes, killer moles, and now this prehistoric lizard monster. Well, good luck to you folks. I think I'll head west, pass through the suburbs, go through Natick, Weston, and try to circle around, approach Boston from the west. According to Mama Murphy, there is some kind of stable community there. I just need a place where I can collect supplies, get some directions, figure out where Sean might have gone. Here in the dark, could almost believe that nothing is wrong. Like the world hasn't fallen to pieces. Oh my god, that cow has 2 heads. Looks like a farm. Maybe these people could give me some directions, some advice, some supplies. I'm sure they won't mind if I just waltz through their front door in power armor. That's close enough, stranger. We're a peaceful farm. We don't want any trouble. Neither do I, just passing through. If you say so, but be warned, we're armed here, so don't try anything. Let me tell you, farming ain't easy out in the field all day, every day, and every minute of it spent watching your back. What kind of crops do you grow here? Mostly potatoes so far, but we're starting on melons. Blake Abernathy, new to the Commonwealth. Yes and no, it's a long story. Either way, good to see a new face. How about you? Ever think about working the land? Digging the dirt all day? No thanks. You're probably a wiser man than me then. Word of advice though, if you do start up a farm, be ready to deal with the raiders. Why do all the hard work when you can just take what somebody else made at gunpoint? You need to do what you can to protect yourself and your family. It ain't that simple. They're well armed. If I drive them off, they'll be back with twice as many men. Last time those raiders hit us, my daughter Mary tried to stand up to them. Now she's buried out back of the house, only 21 years old, and they shot her down without a thought. That's why we need the Minutemen back, and sooner than later. There's nothing worse than losing a child. Believe me, I know. I'm sorry to hear you say so. I don't have much to offer, but those raiders that killed Mary, they took her locket too. It's been in Connie's family for generations. If you could get it back, it'd mean a lot to me. I'll see what I can do. Good. Connie feels like it's a part of Mary. I don't think she'll rest easy again as long as it's gone. We have Connie over here. New here. If you've got anything worth trading, talk to me. Shipment of cloth, wood, fertilizer, leather. somewhat safer having this power armor, but unfortunately the fusion core is running low. If I don't find another one soon, I might have to start huffing it unprotected. Once more, the exhaustion is really starting to settle in. I think I've had a bit too much excitement for one day, especially having just woken up from the freezer. I need to find a place to bed down for the night. Someplace safe. I can't imagine sleeping outside is a good idea. Seeing that every animal I've seen, except for this dog, has wanted to tear me to pieces. Let's see. Hey, what is this? Walden Pond up here, right? Maybe I can sleep in Thoreau's old cabin. If that old little closet is still standing anyways. Well, the pond is looking decidedly less impressive than what I remember. His cabin is still standing after all. Wonder if this old audio tour is. I'll just leave the power armor here, no need to burn through its fusion core. Hello and welcome to Walden Pond. You are now standing in front of the cabin inhabited by transcendentalist writer and philosopher Henry David Thoreau, starting in the summer of 1845. For 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days, Thoreau lived in this cabin, hoping to gain a more objective understanding of society. This experiment was influenced by Thoreau's interest in transcendentalist philosophy, which believed that people were at their best when truly self-reliant. By living off the land with few material possessions, Thoreau proved it skeptical to think that any outward improvement of life could bring inner peace and contentment. For more information, please visit the gift shop and purchase one of the many books on transcendentalism. Also available, t-shirts, coffee mugs, toys, and many other items to commemorate your trip. Thank you for visiting Walden Pond, sponsored by General Atomics. Well, that's, ironic, isn't it? Whoa. This monkey, oh my god. Somebody set up a trap. Nearly blew my leg off. Tweez, if you're reading this, then you're an idiot. Now this is the last time I tell you we're locking this door. Use the entrance in the sewer pipe. Next time you forget, I'm locking your ass out permanently. Walter. Well, that door is locked tight. If there is another entrance to the basement, it could be a safe place to bed down for the night. Now it sounds like there might be some people already there, but if they're the same ones that set up that explosive monkey trap, I wouldn't mind settling a score with them. Let's head into the sewer. Let's see what we can see. Through the drainage pipe here. Alright. Stings to high heaven. But at least there's some privacy. Wouldn't expect people to find their way in here. noises. Don't think about it. Stay calm. Wasn't your fault. You did what you had to do. So this guy made sure he had everything you needed before he started his camping trip in that little shack. And that's why they call it being thorough. Oh, and this guy invented transil. Oh. Looks like they know we're here. Alright. Well, fortunately, these fellows go down with just one swing from the tire iron. Old Reliable here. Let's see if we can find anything worthwhile. Alright. I am hearing some noises from down here. And I think they might have detected me. Alright. You know, for as tired as I am exploding people's heads with one swing of a tire iron pretty often, so I guess that my body is not entirely out of juice, which is good. I've still got it. Alright, I was hoping to wear this postman's outfit and look a little more professional, but looks like I can't fit my armor over it. These bottle caps. Preston Garvey paid me with a bunch of bottle caps. I guess that's money in the new world, which is a sad commentary. So, it seems like I've cleared out this gift shop basement, which is nice. Got Jen. Oh, hello. This wrench engraved with the name Big Jim. Big Jim. Well, Big Jim might be an upgrade to my tire iron. So, thank you for serving me well, tire iron. But it's time for Big Jim to prove his worth. A lunchbox, a Vault-Tec lunchbox with a Nuka-Cola in it. This lunchbox seems to have been modified. I'll just take that. Looks like an IED. So, if this basement is cleared out, and that upper door to ground level is locked up tight, also they broke through that whole wall there, I guess. Must have taken a while. I'll go double check the lock on the door, but if it's all sealed up here, yeah, I think this should be a safe place to bed down for the night. So I'll head back to this bedroll over here. Knock over this creepy mannequin. Oh my god, look how that slid through the water. There's only a little bit of blood on the bedroll. Get rid of the body. refreshed. That was much needed after the day that we had. So what do you say, dog? Shall we see what today holds for us? The magazine here, Tales of a Junktown Jerky Vendor. Tales of a Junktown Jerky Vendor, why I sold my mother. And there he is standing with presumably 2 bags of money and his mother in a cage being taken away. And some suspicious looking needle here, some kind of chem. Well, this basement is full of supplies. I should remember this place in case I need to find shelter in the area. I can use this as a hopefully safe hideout. Though I should drag those bodies out sometime, so they're not stinking the place up. You know, Walden Pond used to be a lot larger. This is practically a vernal pool. Moss, look, man. Mikey, you can't just put something between 2 pieces of bread and claim it's a sandwich. Does that mean a loaf of bread is technically a bread sandwich? Technically, yes, but you wouldn't eat it all at once like that, so it doesn't matter. How you hold it matters. Talk all you want, man. You put that piece of Marlert meat between 2 pieces of bread, but it still ain't a sandwich. Well, what the hell would you call it then? Disgusting, that's what. I am going to leave those 2 gentlemen to their discussion if they didn't have any interest in acknowledging me. I think it would be best to leave them alone. This is quite a strange sight. Some kind of car Stonehenge. I shudder to think about what could have stacked those cars like that. Well, the elevated highway is not looking so good, is it? Isn't that interesting? The sorts of destruction that we are seeing out here. Can we get up here? No, that gets a little too steep for me to climb. You know, you can have something, ow, my leg. You can have something like, the Concord Museum of Freedom still standing after all this time. But the highway is crumbling to pieces. What do we have here? Some lights. us. Let's go, dog. Let's keep moving. Now we did just sleep through the night, but with the storm that's blown in, we may need to seek some shelter again. The last thing I need now is to catch a cold or get sick. What do we have over here? Oh, this is that old ArcJet facility, isn't it? They were working on that mission to Mars or something, right? It was a big news story. They did a whole test firing of their special engine. Alright, ArcJet Systems. If this place is abandoned, maybe we can just hunker down here until the storm is gone. Well, we're not immediately being met by some psychotic person pointing a gun at our face, or a giant mole rat monster, so I'd say we're doing okay. I do hear some heavy clomping from over here. Not sure exactly. Oh, lasers. Alright, a Protectron. Oh, my pipe wrench. Oh, and there are security turrets as well. Alright, I've said before that I like things more up close and personal, but there are times where the benefits of ranged combat are very apparent, and I think we are going to need to pull out our minigun here again. Bring down the Protectron, bring down the turret. Another turret. Is that the last of it? Nope, there's another Protectron. And another turret. The barrel is smoking hot. We have another Protectron in this office here, but fortunately, and a tripwire. Careful, dog, you almost walked into that. This Protectron seems safely tucked away in its charging port. Beware the Red Death. I wonder, after all this hullabaloo, did the communists finally drop the bombs? I wonder who fired first. I wonder if, over in China, they're dealing with the same situation we are. Alright, I warmed up my hacking skills, and okay, that one was a lot easier. Repair order 0988-100. Installed new terminal in Reinhardt's office. He's demanding some serious security on it now that we've got the Mars shot contract. I'm not sure if he's being paranoid, or if he's got a real reason to worry. I'll set him up with the best we've got for now. So we have some records of these repair orders here on this console. Okay, now I'm convinced Reinhardt is paranoid. He's had me put in automated security turrets in the main hallway outside his office. You'd think we were working for the military instead of just the United States Space Administration. Repair Department Terminal. Here there be dragons. It's an interesting name for this. Repair Order 098A115. Got McClellan constantly bugging me that the mainframe keeps running out of space. I've ordered some more storage from our supplier, but we are rapidly running out of room down here for any more consoles. I might have to talk Reinhardt into letting us spill over into the office sections. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay. Repair Order 098A122. Brent came down and had me pull all the video surveillance records from the mainframe last month. I asked if he wanted me to just make him backups, but he just grunted like he always does and demanded the originals. I have no idea what he's doing with them, and I don't want to know. As long as I keep getting a paycheck, I could care less. Well, yeah, ArcJet. We have the turret control here. Standardized turret control firmware V813. Status error, all clear. Admin turret defense system units connected 4. Please exercise caution around turrets. Users should always assume that turrets are loaded and capable of live fire. We can deactivate, run diagnostics, and they also have an info section. Let's check that out. Loading terms of usage. Turret operation should be limited to trained professionals only. Consumer commands are limited to activation, deactivation of the turrets hardlined to this terminal. For all other operations, please refer to a licensed technician. Any tampering will void warranty and indemnify the manufacturer against potential injury and or death caused to users or passers-by. And we can run diagnostics. System diagnostics for turrets linked. It tells us node conditions, status, and distance. And of course we have destroyed all 4 of the turrets. Well, if I had come in here first, I could have saved some minigun ammunition. I didn't have to shoot those turrets up, could have just turned them off. And this leads back the way we came. This just, yep, back to the protectrons we destroyed. We'll scavenge some fusion cells off of it. Could fetch a pretty penny. We have a conference room here. Alright, this is another office area. Some geometric art on the wall. Vault Tech calendar. I wonder if anybody from ArcJet ended up in the vault with me. Down here, what do we have? Nothing but a safe. We do have a safe here. Let's see if I can put my old skills to use with this bobby pin and screwdriver. Just gotta find the sweet spot. There we go. Got some bullets. of any value anymore, considering people are handing out bottle caps, but Tesla Science magazine here. Will robots rule the world? We have a Mr. Handy here, wearing a fancy robe and smoking a cigar, wearing a crown. I hope not. Codsworth would not be a good king. Thomas Reinhardt's private terminal. Mars Shot Project Notes 08-2075. Guess he just has one entry per month, so after 6 months, the United States Space Administration finally approved ArcJet as the contractor for the Mars Shot Project's propulsion and communication systems. Having my team start working on the XMB booster before we secured the contract was a gamble, but it looks like it's going to pay off big. We have a lot of details to hash out with the agency, and we have a lot of work ahead of us. But I think this contract will finally put ArcJet on the map. Yeah, I guess this is a record of their Mars Shot project. As I said, I remember them having this propulsion system all in the news. I was fortunate to be able to add Dr. Rory McClellan to the XMB booster team today. There are a few people who can match Dr. McClellan's aptitude with the nuclear propulsion systems, so this truly was a coup. It cost the company a heck of a lot of money to hire him away from his military contracting job, but I am sure it will be well worth every dollar. We've promised at the USSA that the booster would be ready at least a year before their July 2078 launch date. With Dr. McClellan at the helm, we should be able to meet that deadline with the time to spare. Alright, December 2025. As the holiday season approaches, it's time to take a step back and look at everything that's happened to ArcJet Systems this year. 5 months ago, my company was struggling to make ends meet. Now, with the XMB booster and the deep-range transmitter project in full swing, ArcJet appears to have received a second chance. Thanks to Dr. McClellan, we are on schedule and under budget. The USSA is thrilled with our progress and is already talking to me about future contracts after we deliver. I don't think it's possible to be ending the year on a better note. Alright, that's December of 2075. March of 76. Dr. McClellan's informed me that we have a problem with the XMB booster. The USSA is demanding that the engine can't exceed their strict weight allowance, but thanks to the uranium refinement subsystem, we are a few hundred tons over. We're now 1 month behind schedule, and I'm frankly starting to panic. Dr. McClellan assures me he'll find a solution soon, but that isn't helping me get to sleep at night. Alright, we have July 76 here. The USSA has started their public relations campaign for the Mars Shot project, and ArcJet Systems is finding itself caught right in the middle. In the last week, I think I fielded 15 separate interviews with everyone asking the same questions over and over again. They all want to know when we're delivering the XMB booster, so they can take their pretty pictures of the USSA test firing it for the first time. And all I can do is keep smiling and lying through my teeth that the XMB will be delivered when it's ready. I hope Dr. McClellan solves our weight problem soon, or we're never going to get a contract from the USSA ever finish tightening a few screws and hoist the thing up into the engine core. If we're lucky, we'll be able to test fire the booster right after the new year. It's funny how things seem so bleak and chaotic during the year, but it all comes together for us just in time for the holidays. Alright, so the end of 76, February of 77, we've scheduled a photo opportunity tomorrow for the XMB booster's first test firing in the engine core. We're going to stick them all down in the control room and let them shoot their pictures through the thermoglass window after Dr. McClellan gives them a short explanation of how the booster works. The engine puts out a hell of a lot of thrust, so it should be quite a spectacular show. March 2077. It's been 2 weeks since the accident before the XMB booster's test firing event. Somehow a photographer managed to wander past security and into the engine core a few hours early. Dr. McClellan was running a quick test on the booster, letting it run for only a few seconds to make sure it was ready for the demonstration, and burned the photographer into ash. Thank God no one else saw what happened. I'm having Brent take care of the remains. After all, that's why I hired him. If word of this accident goes public, we'll be shut down, and I may as well put a for sale sign out front. Well, they kept that little flub up sufficiently private. I didn't hear anything about that. The whole test firing was nothing but a media sensation. All of the unrest overseas is making the USSA nervous about proceeding with the Mars Shot project. They're telling me they may have to delay a year or more depending on what happens. If that's true, we'll just have to make do with the proceeds from the deep-range transmitter contract, which we've already completed. I'm trying to keep everyone's spirits up around here, but it's getting harder and harder with the world falling apart around us. Hopefully our government will work things out, and we can all get back to work. Well, Mr. Reinhardt, I've got bad news for you about that. Well, considering the storm outside and the fact that I'm honestly still beat from my cryo sleep, I think let's just take a quick nap. Alright. I've slept for a few hours. I'm refreshed. I hope I get back to feeling tip-top shape soon. The clouds are out. Alright, let's get out of ArcJet and out of order. Okay. Alright, this is the wrong way. I have a little balcony above the lobby here. I will head outside and we can resume our journey down to Boston. All in all, I think avoiding the main roads and settlements has been a good idea so far. It's a bright afternoon here. Let's start heading out. We have this old little display here out in front of ArcJet. I saw this a few times from the road, but I never took a closer look. Not sure what this is exactly. Maybe one of their prototype jets or something. Now the plaque is all worn away. Impossible to read. Yeah, to me, it looks like some fancy jet that never actually saw combat. Looks like Dog has a very happy knowledge of where we're going. Alright, that is a colossal crab thing. I would have preferred to walk on by, but Dog got involved. As long as those big claws don't grab onto me, should be fine. Although this thing's shell is quite tough. Alright. Looks like we had some collapse here. See, I think with my experience of the day, I've learned a little something. What have I learned? What have I learned? Am I tougher? Have I developed a resistance to radiation? Aquaboy, rad resistant. I'm definitely not a cannibal. Solar powered. I think I'm just tougher. I think that with all of the bullets I have taken in the past 24 hours, that I'm feeling just a little more resistant to damage. So, up ahead we have the old, what is this, the old Natick water treatment plant or something, right? Billboard here, fallen to pieces. Would make the road a lot nicer if all the billboards had crumbled a long time ago. See, we've got somebody up on the walkway here. Oh my god, they're huge.